Okay, we're holding by Taisvis. I'd like to explain Shittas Taisvis in the union of Kwoרך. Taisvis has a unique Shitta, different than all other Rishonim. Taisvis is a das yochid in the Sugya, and it's a very interesting and difficult approach to the Gemara, and I'd like to explain where Taisvis is coming from. I'm saying this as a Hagdama because if anyone had a chance to look at the Shevach Pesach that I made a copy of, the Shevach Pesach makes this whole cheshbon that Rav Rishonim agree to Taisvis. He takes Taisvis into the Rambam, into the Rif, into the Rosh. On Mamela, he says that we paskin like Taisvis, Rav Rishonim hold like Taisvis. But the emes is, if you look into the Rishonim, you clearly see that Taisvis is a das yachid. The Ramban, the Ran, Rabbeinu David, the Rif, the Rambam, everybody disagrees with Taisvis. So there's a lot of pratim in the Chiddush of Taisvis. Let's take it step by step. First of all, as I mentioned last time, the fact that Taisvis is mechadish this concept that according to Hillel, there's an afgemina between lachatchila and b'di'evet. There's doing the mitzvah lachatchila and there's doing mitzvah b'di'evet. It's a very big Chiddush. It's a very big Chiddush. Where does this come from? Where does this come from in the Pasuk? Where does this come from in the Lashon that Hillel said in the Braise? Where in the world did Taisvis create this concept of lachatchila and b'di'evet? That's one shaila. The other shaila is there something forcing Taisvis to say this in the pshat of the teretz? Taisvis is trying to explain from where is the raya that Hillel holds mitzvahs eim avatle zeh. That's all Taisvis is coming to explain. Is there anything that's forcing Taisvis to say this for the teichen of the teretz? The third question I asked was, Taisvis comes with the premise that the way we're going to interpret the pasuk of Yechluhu is going to depend on what the din regarding mitzvahs mevatle zeh is going to be in general, or to use the lashon of Taisvis, ba'alma. If ba'alma you're going to hold mitzvahs mevatle zeh, then you're going to need yechlu as a heter. If you're going to hold ba'alma mitzvahs ein mevatle zeh, so you don't need it as a heter, then yechlu is a mitzvah. Why does that work that way? Why can't you skip a step? Why can't you say that ba'alma mitzvahs mevatle zeh? Well, it's also to do you can't take two mitzvahs and put it together. And nevertheless, over here, the Torah is giving you a mitzvah. But you have to eat it together. This is the way the mitzvah is done. The mitzvah is to eat it together. What's this pshat? That's the way it is. Ba'alma, that's how I interpret Yechluhu. And even more so, l'chayre Yechluhu, this is another prat where Taisvis is a das yachid. Yechlu is a mitzvah. When you read the pasuk in Chumash, Yechlu is not a heter. Yechlu is a mitzvah. Well, Taisvis comes along and says, according to Rabbanon, Yechlu is a heter. What kind of thing is this? Why is since when is Yechlu a heter? Very strange thing. Another question which I did not ask last time is that the pshat Taisvis is saying, according to the Rabbanon, is l'chayre heipich, what it says clearly in the Braise. In the Braise it says that Rabbanon hold that you learn from Yechluhu that you could eat it zeh b'fnei atzmai v'zeh b'fnei atzmai. That's what it says in the Braise. Taisvis says that the pshat of Yechlu, according to the Rabbanan, is the opposite. It's a heter to eat it together. Which one is it? Is Yechlu telling you that you can eat it b'fnei atzmai, or is Yechlu a heter that you can eat it together? What Taisvis is saying is pashut, the opposite of what it says in the Braisa. So for all these reasons, the pshat of Taisvis is very, very chidushdik in the Gemara.
The Rabbanan doing both.
Huh?
They're learning both. You can do both, right? So where are they learning to do together? As well, huh?
Good, very good. Okay, so let's go through this from the beginning. So the Nekuda here is as follows. Taisvis, and I started explaining this last time, but I want to go through this until the end now. Taisvis holds that be'etzem, matzah, and morer are separate mitzvahs. This is the yesod of the whole sugya, I think, according to basically all the Rishonim. I mean, even though there is going to be a big machlokes here, as I'll explain, but basically, according to everybody, the place to start is matzah and morer are two separate mitzvahs. There's a mitzvah of matzah and there's a mitzvah of morer. Taita wrote matzah as a separate mitzvah, and morer is hukash to matzah. Morer is also a separate mitzvah. Elamai, then you have the pasuk of Yechlu that comes and adds a prat to mitzvahs morer, which is that it should be eaten in a way of kwoרך. That's not the etzem mitzvah of morer, though. The etzem mitzvah of morer is to eat morer. If you ate morer without kwoרך, you were yaitzim morer. Because just like if you ate matzah separately, it's a mitzvah b'fnei atzma, and you yaitzim matzah. If you eat morer, which is also a mitzvah b'fnei atzma, if you eat morer separately, you yaitzim mitzvah morer. Torah, by mitzvah's mother, did not come to say, oh, there's no such a thing as mitzvah's mother. The mitzvah is k'orech, mother with matzah. No. Matzah is a mitzvah b'fnei atzmai, mother is a mitzvah b'fnei atzmai. Elam, ad kedei kach, I mentioned last time, many Rishonim actually count mother as a separate mitzvah. Elamai, Torah then come and added a prat, another detail in the oifen of being mekayim mitzvah's mother. That the Torah writes, al matzah mereim yechlut, that you can be mekayim it, or you should be mekayim it, ba'oifen shel kricha. That's the kavana of Taisus, and he writes l'chatchila and b'diavad. L'chatchila does not mean, like it would sound like, usually l'chatchila means it's a mitzvah min ha-mufchar to do so. That's not what Taisus means. Taisus is not saying it's a mitzvah min ha-mufchar, and it's not ma'akiv. L'chatchila means if you want to do the mitzvah l'chol protov. Not just to eat it, but to eat it with the additional kiyum of k'orech that the Torah added to the mitzvah. B'diavad means not that it's once you did it, so then b'shas atchaki yaitz. It's not what b'diavad means. B'diavad means the etzem mitzvah of mother you're yaitze without k'orech. Torah was meisif a prat of k'orech in how to be mekayim the mitzvah. But if you just ate the mother, you were yaitze mother. You were yaitze the etzem mitzvah. That's the lashon of l'chatchila and b'diavad of Tosfos. I think I mentioned last time that the Ran, when he talks about this concept of l'chatchila and b'diavad, the Ran Taka uses the lashon mitzvah min ha-mufchar. But Tosfos does not. Tosfos does not use the lashon mitzvah min ha-mufchar. Which answers the Ran's question on Tosfos. The Ran asks a question, if you're going to say that the whole inyan of k'orech, according to Hill, is only l'chatchila, why are we making a zecher for l'chatchila de gedin? If it's not ma'akiv b'chlal, it's a mitzvah min ha-mufchar. You ever find such a musik? You make a zecher b'zman hazeh for a mitzvah min ha-mufchar? If Hill himself has made it, you don't even need it. Teretz is, Tosfos never meant that. Tosfos is not saying mitzvah min ha-mufchar. The Shavach Pesach, by the way, asks this question as well. The same question, he was mechaven to the question of the Ran. I don't know if you saw the Ran, you didn't see the Ran. The Chidush Ran, he maybe didn't see. It's printed later. But the Shavach Pesach asks the same exact question as the Ran. What's this zeichel and mikdash if the whole thing is only a lachatchila de gedin? Where do you find the zeichel for a lachatchila de gedin? What is the Shavach Pesach's answer? Anachanami. It is a different kind of takana. You don't usually find such a kind of din. Elomai, what the Shavach Pesach's pshat is, hayais bepoyel mamish, bizman shebis hamikdash kayam, Hillel did eat it b'ofen shel k'orech. So we make a zeicher bizman hazeh for that shit of Hillel that he did. True, Hillel would agree bizman hazeh that once you're forced to eat matzah separately and maror separately, even according to Hillel. So now there's no point of doing k'orech even according to Hillel, because b'diavad you were yaitze with matzah and maror separately. But the zeicher is because bisman shebeis hamikdash kayam, Hillel would eat k'orech. So we're making a zeicher to what Hillel did bisman shebeis hamikdash kayam. It's a zeicher for what Hillel did then. But today, Hillel would be made it. Once you ate matzah, once you ate maror, there's no point in k'orech. That's the Shavach Pesach's pshat. And Adarabah, the Shavach Pesach actually has a good diak in the Gemara. This is a big diak that many achreinim, and could even be rishonim, are medayik this. The Gemara over here concludes with the lashon zeichel and mikdash kehillel. Why is the Gemara saying this lashon of zeichel and mikdash kehillel? What is this doing here? What is the word, three words zeichel and mikdash kehillel doing here? So you're going to say, well, the whole takana of maror is zeichel and mikdash. Yeah, true. The whole takana of maror is zeichel and mikdash. But when the Gemara talks about maror, it never says zeichel and mikdash. Suddenly, when it comes to k'orech, it says zeichel and mikdash kehillel. Why? Not only that, the minig of Roiv of the Welt, and it says in Shulchan Aruch, is that you say the word Zeichel and Mikdash Kehillel before you eat K'orech. The Alter Rebbe and the Siddur took it out. The Alter Rebbe doesn't say, we say Kenos Hill B'zman Shebeis Mikdash Kayim, but we don't say Zeichel and Mikdash Kehillel. In the Gemara it says Zeichel and Mikdash Kehillel. Why punkt over here does the Gemara say these three words of Zeichel and Mikdash? So the Shavach Pesach says, according to Tosfos, it's very understood. Because according to Tosfos, the whole, even Hillel would be made that bizman hazeh, once you have to eat matzah and maror, there's no inyan of doing maror b'chlal anymore. Even the maror, which is the zeichel and mikdash, you don't have to do anymore because you ate the maror zeichel and mikdash and you're yaitza with maror b'fnei atzmai b'diavad. You're still going ahead and eating k'orech in addition to the maror that you already ate. Zeicha to the way Hillel did it then. Hillel himself is made that today that's not applicable anymore. Zeicha to the way Hillel did it then. That's the Zeichel and Mikdash. Okay, this is the Shavach Pesach's pshat, but this is all, if you learn that L'chatchila b'di'evet in this Taisvus here means the way it usually means, literally, L'chatchila b'di'evet, but as I said before, that's not the pshat in Taisvus L'chayra. It's not, it doesn't make any sense to say this. Where would there be such a mocker for such a mustig of L'chatchila and b'di'evet over here? Elamai, there's two pratim in mitzvahs mara. There's the etzem achila of mitzvahs mara, and then there's another prat that the Torah was meisif to do it by Fishal Kyrech. And when the Torah was meisif that other prat, it wasn't oiker the etzem mitzvah k'moishahu that you eat mara b'fnei atzmai. And that's the lashon of chatchila b'di'eved, the two pratim. As much as b'di'eved, which means eating mara b'fnei atzmai is a din and a mitzvah, eating it in the oifen of Kyrech is also a din and a mitzvah. Umemele, the fact that we make a zeicha for that prat is not a pella, because it's not a zeicha for a lachatchila, it's not a zeicha for a mitzvah min ha-mufchar, it's a zeicha for another prat of the mitzvah, which Hillel holds is another prat. That just as much as there's the mitzvah of eating mara b'fnei atzmai, there's a mitzvah to also eat it in the oifen of Kyrech. So al pizeh, l'chayre, we can go a step further and say as follows. Taisvus, the side over here is that Taisvus holds that this pasuk is coming to be meisif a prat and mitzvah smara. It's not being oiker the mitzvah k'moishu b'fnei atzmai, but it's coming to be meisif a prat and mitzvah smara. If that's the case, then it's not so difficult to understand anymore why Taisvus is saying that yechlu is a heter. Why al-matzim reim yechlu is a heter. What happens is a heter? So if yechluhu is telling me the etzem mitzvah, so then to come and say that the lashon yechluhu, which means together, is a heter, is a pella. Vasepes mitamo yechluhu, saying that you have to eat it together, is a heter. Elamai, the pshat is as follows. Be'etzem, when the Torah wrote yechluhu, it means zeh b'fnei atzmai and zeh b'fnei atzmai. That's what the Brisa says. The Brisa says that yechluhu means zeh b'fnei atzmai, just like matzah is a mitzvah b'fnei atzmai, maror is a mitzvah b'fnei atzmai. That's the etzem pshat of yechluhu, and that's the etzem mitzvah of maror, to eat each one b'fnei atzmai. Elamai, there's also an additional mashmas in yechluhu, that it means that you have to eat it together, and that additional mashmas is not coming to be oiker the ikar ha-mitzvah k'moishahu that it's supposed to be b'fnei atzmai, it's being meisif another prat. Umemela, this additional mashmas of the word yechlu, on that Taisvus is coming and saying, you could say it's only a heter. If Taisvus came to say, the word yechlu is a heter, that's a very modern thing. Yechlu is a heter. Yechlu is a mitzvah. Read the word. Yechlu means eat it. It's a heter. It's a mitzvah, not a heter. Elamai, when Taisvus says yechlu is a heter, Taisvus is not talking about the taich of yechluhu. Lefi the Rabbanon, the taich of yechluhu is zeh b'fnei atzmai v'zeh b'fnei atzmai. V'haraya, it's mefurish in the Brisa. Taisvus is not going against what it says b'ferish in the Brisa. The Brisa says yechlu zeh b'fnei atzmai v'zeh b'fnei atzmai. There's an additional mashmos from the hemshech hapsukim, because before it spoke about Pesach, and now it's speaking about Matzah and Mara, so there's additional mashmos from the Hemshech HaPsukim, that it means together, that additional mashmos that the Torah is adding, what's that Haisafa? What is that Haisafa? Is it being Meisif a Parat in the mitzvah? Or is it Stam giving you a heter? That's the Shaila here. How do I interpret this Haisafa? Zok Taisvus, it's going to be Toloi, how you learn what the din is in Kol HaTorah Kula. If the din in Kol HaTorah Kula is mitzvahs mevatle zeh zeh, so then it makes a lot of sense to say that this additional hisafa in the mashmos of the pasuk is not adding another prat to the mitzvah. It's just clarifying a heter that you could do something that you can't do in Kol HaTorah Kula. But if you're going to say that you don't need a heter because mitzvahs aim mevatle zeh zeh, so then you're mochrach to say that this hisafa is coming to add another prat in the mitzvah. So this is l'chayra also meyashiv the shaila of the Marsha. The Marsha asked, what forced Taisvus to say this inyan of l'chatchila and b'di'evet? What forced Taisvus to say this? So according to what I'm saying, the answer is because without Taisvus saying l'chatchila and b'di'evet, the whole pshat of Taisvus falls apart. If you're going to say that when the Torah wrote yechluhu is li'ikuva, this is what the mitzvah is. The mitzvah is yechluhu, to eat it together. So then, there's no mokim to say that Hata Taich Yechlu is totally in the din of mitzvahs mevatle zeh zeh and Kol HaTorah Kula. What's the kesher? What's the kesher between this mitzvah and the concept of mitzvahs mevatle zeh zeh and Kol HaTorah Kula? Over here, the Torah is giving me a mitzvah of yichlu, liyikuva. This is what the mitzvah is. And in Kol HaTorah Kula could be that this, doing it in this way would be Aster, because mitzvahs mevatla says there's no connection b'chlal. But because Taisus, so therefore Taisus comes and says, no. Marer is a mitzvah b'fnei atzma. It's a mitzvah to eat marer b'fnei atzma, and that's the taich of yichluhu. Elamai, there's an additional mashmos. That additional mashmos is only lechatchila. What does Taisus mean by lechatchila? It's another shlav, another prat in the kiyama mitzvah. But hagufa, how to taich this mashmos is going to be taloi in what the din is in Kol HaTorah Kula. If in Kol HaTorah Kula mitzvahs mevatle zeh, then you'll have to say that this additional prat is just a heter. If ein mevatle zeh, so then it's going to be an additional prat of marer lechatchila b'kricha. So Taisus didn't stam hakarayna lechatchila b'diyevet. This is the whole pshat of Taisus' teretz here. What's the second thing, the second mashmos of the pasuk, correct? Hillel holds is no such a mashmos. No, forget, right. Hillel holds the simple mashmos is b'kiriche, correct. That's according to this it comes out, the machlekes of Hillel and the Rabbanan is, what's the simple mashmos of yichluhu? Hillel holds the simple mashmos of yichluhu is b'kiriche. Rabbanan hold the simple mashmos of the pasuk is zeh b'fnei atzmei v'zeh b'fnei atzmei. But Rabbanan are made that there's an additional mashmos that it should be b'kiriche. Okay, that is the pshat in Taisvis. But there's still one thing that we did not explain over here, Lefi Taisvis. But this is already bringing over here the other Rishonim to contrast what Taisvis is saying to the other Rishonim. Why did Taisvis not want to say, like all the Rishonim say, and I mentioned that the Rashbam also l'chayra holds this, that you can use the din of k'orech as a gili milsa for Kol HaTorah Kula. Once the Torah writes by k'orech that you do it together, that should become a gili milsa for Kol HaTorah Kula, the mitzvah same about lezeh. Why can't you use it as a gili milsa? Adrabah, l'chayra lefi Taisvis, it makes a lot of sense to say that it's a gili milsa. Because Taisvis holds that you could be yaitze marer without eating it together with matzah. And still the Torah was meisiv that you should eat it together with matzah. So that shows that you're taking two different mitzvahs and you're putting it together. So that l'chayra should be a gili milsa, l'chol HaTorah Kula, that mitzvahs mevatla zeh. The Rishonim all say this befeirish. The Ran, Rabbeinu David say it befeirish, and l'chayra that's the pshat in the Ramban and the Rashbam as well. That once where is the makar from Hillel? That mitzvahs aim mevatla zeh from here, from k'orech. K'orech is a gili milsa, l'chol HaTorah Kula. So why does Taisus disagree with that? What is the Teichen HaMachlekes? And the Pella is, the modern Zach is, it's the Chayre Ipchem Estavra. What's the shit of all the Rishonim? All the Rishonim hold that Hillel's shit is, K'orech is ma'akiv. K'orech is dafke. K'orech is not an option. What's going on? Someone's there? Yeah, whatever. Hillel's shita is, according to the Rishonim, that k'orech is li'ikuva. K'orech is ma'akiv. If k'orech is li'ikuva, it's less mistaver to say that you can use this as a gili milsa to Kol HaTorah Kula. Because if it's li'ikuva, there's definitely a svara to say that it's a special chiddush dafka here. This is how you do this mitzvah. It's ma'akiv. It's a mitzvah of kricha and you can't learn to Kol HaTorah Kula. Masha'enken, according to Taisus that holds your yaitze with marer b'fnei atzmai and matzah b'fnei atzmai b'diyeved, and still Torah came and said that you should take this marer b'fnei atzmai and matzah b'fnei atzmai and put it together. That l'chayra is a gili milsa for Kol HaTorah Kula that you could put them both together. Afal pikein, for some reason it's punkt fakert. Taisus that holds that you could be yaitze zeh b'fnei atzmai v'zeh b'fnei atzmai b'diyeved holds that it's not a gili milsa for Kol HaTorah Kula. And the Rishonim that hold that it's li'ikuva, so which makes it sound like that marer and over here is very different, hold that it is a gili milsa l'chol HaTorah Kula. Why? The question goes even further. I was medayik this I think before. Taisvis uses the lashon dil meshani hacha de gali kra. That's Taisvis' lashon. Shani hacha de gali kra. The Rishonim do not use this lashon. The Rishonim do not say shani hacha de gali kra. The lashon of the Rishonim is shani hacha de kach mitzvasan, or mitzvasan bekach. The Rishonim say, which is l'chayra, a much stronger lashon. It's not just a golikra. This is the mitzvah. Shani hacha, this is the mitzvah memela. It's not shaykh b'chlal to the whole inyan of a mitzvah emevatle zeh. So again, the funny thing is, Taisus that uses the lashon golikra holds you can't learn from here to kol hatayra kula. The Rishayim that use the lashon kach mitzvasan hold that you could. How does that work? If kach mitzvasan, so then l'chayra that's less of a so then you shouldn't learn it out anywhere else. Kach mitzvasan. And the Ran repeats the lashon kach mitzvasan a few times. You see that the Ran aliba the emes holds that this is kach mitzvasan. So how are you learning from here to kol hatayra kula? Okay, is there any other questions over here that I'm missing? Taisus says that you don't learn out from here to kol hatayra kula. That's the whole chiluk between Taisus and all the Rishayim. Taisus and the Rishayim are pushed backwards from each other. The whole sugi is backwards. Taisus holds that the starting point is mitzvah mevat lezezeh or is mitzvah not mevat lezezeh, and then only after you figure out that will you know how to tie sheichluhu. The Rishayim hold punkt verkehrt. The Rishayim hold the starting point is yechluhu. What does yechluhu mean? If yechluhu means bekricha, then I can learn out the kol hatayra kula that mitzvah mevat lezezeh. It's mamish hofchim. I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay, you'll have to explain me later what you're saying. Maybe you're right. We have to explain me later. Okay, so therefore the chayre, the pshat of is as follows. Taisvis and the Rishayim, including the Rashbam, are arguing in the gather of Keurig. What's the Teichen HaMachlekes? The Teichen HaMachlekes is as follows. The way I explained Keurig according to Taisvis till now is, if you were following what I was saying, Keurig is a prat in the mitzvah of Marer. Torah gave the mitzvah to eat Marer b'fnei atzmai, then the Torah decided to add a prat, that it should be done in the oifen of Keurig. And that prat gufa, Taisvis holds, is not liikuva. It's only a mashmas of the pasuk. The ikr pasuk is saying that you should eat Keurig Marer b'fnei atzmai. Then the Torah was meisef a prat shaloi liikuva to do it in the oifen of Keurig. That's Taisvis' shitta. The Rishayim disagree with this. The Rishayim hold the etzem gather of Keurig is for mitzad atzmai has nothing to do with Marer. Keurig be'etzem is that the Torah gave me 3 mitzvahs this night. Pesach, Matzah, and Marer. 3, to use the Lashon of Rabbeinu David, mitzvah is chalukais. Torah gave 3 unrelated mitzvahs. Take those 3 unrelated mitzvahs and eat them together. Take mitzvahs chalukais and put them together. That's the teichen of mitzvahs Keurig. It's not a prat in Marer, it's not a prat in Matzah, it's not a prat in Pesach. This is the etzem din. You have 3 separate mitzvahs to eat tonight. You would think that you should eat them separately. Came Torah and was Megala and said, no, eat them together. So that's the etzem musig of what Keurig is according to the Rishayim. Elamai, if that would be true, if you would stop right here, then like I said, then it's not a prat in matzah, it's not a prat in marer, it's a general mitzvah here. These 3 separate mitzvahs should be eaten together. But the thing is, then the Torah came and clarified that matzah is a separate mitzvah. Once the Torah wrote the pasuk, be'erev teichlu matzahis, that you eat matzah separately. What was the Torah megala with that? That although the Torah is mechayev you on one hand, in this pasuk of Yechlu, to eat all 3 together, but the Torah took matzah out of that klal. The Torah said that matzah you could eat separately. Kumtais, that this inyan gufa, that you have to eat all 3 mitzvahs together, legabi matzah is not liikuva, it's only liikuva legabi marer and legabi pesach. Even legabi pesach, it's l'chayra not liikuva. Even legabi pesach, it's not. It comes out, it's only going to be liikuva legabi marer. So Enochanami, the etzem geder and mitzvah of what Keurig is the Torah telling you to take mitzvahs chalukais and to eat it together. But once the Torah wrote be'erev teichlu matzahis, this inyan gufa of taking separate mitzvahs and eating it together is only ma'akiv in mitzvahs marer. It's not ma'akiv in mitzvahs matzah, because that the Torah took out of this klal and said that matzah you could be yaitzi even without eating it together. Huh? Okay, you'll ask me that 1 second. This is the Nekuda This is the Nekudas Hadvarim, which answers all the questions that I just asked. So Meil Kumte says that according to where should we start? According to Taisvis that learns that Kwoרך is a prat noisefes in mitzvahs mara. Why should I learn out the Kol HaTorah Kula? Why should I learn anything out from here to Kol HaTorah Kula? Just because the Torah here gave a very special way how to be Mekayim mitzvahs mara, you have one mitzvah pratis. There's one mitzvah pratis, mitzvahs mara. And the Torah was meisiv this kiyum that mitzvahs mara should be neskayim and oifen of Kwoרך. This becomes a binyan av l'chol HaTorah Kula, that two mitzvahs chalukas can be eaten together. Torah never said here that two mitzvahs chalukas should be eaten together. Torah is talking about mara. Lefi Taisvis, Kwoרך is a din in mara. Torah is telling you how to eat mara. That the enhanced way, the way to eat mara is with matzah. That's a chiddush prati when they get to mitzvahs mara. What does this have to do with any two mitzvahs that you want to combine b'chol HaTorah Kula? And according to the Rishonim, the lashon that it says beferish in the Rishonim that mitzvahs chalukos tziva lechol ke'echad, that's the lashon of Rabbeinu David. What's the whole teichen of mitzvahs mara? Mitzvahs Kwoרך, I mean. The etzem teichen of mitzvahs Kwoרך is saying that ain't mitzvahs mevatlei zeh. That is what the mitzvah is. The mitzvah of Kwoרך is take two separate mitzvahs and put them together and eat them. Be ma'achid, two separate mitzvahs. You would think if you have two mitzvahs, how should you fulfill them? Separately. You give each one its separate cheshivas. Came Torah and said, no, be ma'achid, two mitzvahs. That's the etzem teichen of the mitzvah. The etzem teichen of the mitzvah is to take two mitzvahs and be mitzvah of them together. So therefore, for you, this becomes a binyan av l'chol HaTorah Kula. So Erachanami, the Rishonim hold that b'payal it's taka liikuva. It's ma'akiv mitzvahs mara. But it's the fact that the Rishonim hold that it's liikuva and Taisvis holds it's not liikuva is not a proof to the fact that according to the Rishonim, Kwoרך is more connected to mara than according to Taisvis. No, feidish nish, these two things don't go together. Taisvis is the one that holds that Kwoרך is a prat and mara. Hagam on one hand, Taisvis is the one that holds that the whole Kwoרך is only lechatchila and not liikuva, but dafke Taisvis is the one that holds that Kwoרך is a prat and mara, and the Rishonim that hold that it's liikuva hold that it's beferish not a prat and mara, it's a din of taking two mitzvahs chalukas and putting it together. How does that work? So according to what I'm explaining it, these two things have nothing to do with each other. There's two separate subjects here. One subject is it liikuva or only lechatchila? Another subject is it a prat and mitzvahs marer, or is it taking two mitzvahs chalukas and putting it together? These two things have nothing to do with each other. Taisus holds it's a prat and mitzvahs marer, but it's not liikuva, because it's learned only from the mashmas of the pasuk, but the etzem pshat of the pasuk means zeh b'fnei atzmai v'zeh b'fnei atzmai. The Rishonim hold be'etzem has nothing to do with marer. Has nothing to do with mara. It's taking two mitzvahs and putting it together. Happens to be that the Torah wrote be'erev teichelu matzahs, so legabe matzah is not going to be liikuva, and legabe mara it will be liikuva. But be'etzem has nothing to do with mara. Yeah, so you understand why according to Taisus it's a gili milsa l'chol HaTorah Kula, and according to the Rishonim it's a gili milsa l'chol HaTorah Kula, and according to Taisus it's not a gili milsa l'chol HaTorah Kula. Okay. Did I miss anything over here? Sorry. Huh? Yes. Yes. According to Hillel? No, it's not. But they both agree in that prat. That was Mashal and English Kayim. You could eat both together first. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Everything that I explained till here goes l'shitosam of the Hemshech of the Gemara, but we first have to see the Hemshech of the Gemara. Akapanim, the Ma'aseh of Payla comes out that there's two ways found how to learn mitzvahs Kworych here. Is it a prat and marer, or is it a din of taking two mitzvahs chalukas and putting them together? And from this comes out a huge nafkamin in the Hemshech of the Gemara. Let's see the Hemshech of the Gemara. Sagt die Gemara weiter, hashte de loy itme hilchese, loike hilo v'loike rabbanon, varach al achiles matzah v'achol. V'halde me varach al achiles matzah, al achiles marer v'achol, v'hader achel matzah v'chasa b'hadi adadi b'loi bracha zeichel mikdash kehillel. So the ikir, so in the lashon of the Gemara itself, there are two diyukim. There are two main diyukim that the Rishonim, Achrayim talk about. The first thing is b'loi bracha. The Gemara says that you eat k'orech b'loi bracha. What's the pshat in the Gemara? Why do you eat k'orech b'loi bracha? There's two ways found out what the Gemara means. Does the Gemara mean b'loi bracha because the taka doesn't need a bracha? K'orech doesn't need a bracha b'chlal. Or is the pshat in b'loi bracha not that it doesn't need a bracha, but because you already made a bracha? You made a bracha when you ate matzah and marer, so you could be yaitze k'orech. The k'orech could be yaitze with the bracha of matzah and marer. It's two ways found out b'loi bracha. So keep that in mind because it's very negeya. There's an afkaminal halacha also, as we'll see. The other shayla that the Shevach Pesach talks about barichas, I mentioned it before, is what's the three words zeichel mikdash kehillel. So I said before what the Shevach Pesach's answer is, but his answer is l'chayra not ois gehalten. So what is the pshat in these three words of zeichel and mikdash kehillel in the Gemara? Okay, well that's the two diyukim in the Gemara. Now let's see Taisus. Zak Taisves, El Mavarach Hamatza, Vachol Mavarach Hamar, Chulu, Im Hoya Kairach Shneim Yachat Tchilo. If you would eat both of them together, Hava Osi Mara Darabanon Mavatal Matzah. Vim Hoya Eichel Matzah Beloi Mara Tchilo. If you just eat matzah, Keshahoya Kairchan Achakach, Osi Matzah Derishos, Umavatal Mara Darabanon. So then the matzah is now a reshus because the matzah you ate before, you were yaitz already. So now the matzah is only reshus, and therefore it's going to be mevatel the mara. That's according to the Rabbanon. Me we have a kaimelan kehillel have avdinen hachi matzah lechuda v'hada matzah mara v'kriche kivin shetzarich lasis mit the Rabbanon mitzvah kriche kehillel have the Rabbanon with the Rabbanon. So l'chayra what Taisus is saying here is very very pashut. But the modern zach is in this pashut to Taisus, the Rishonim are meirich and complicate matters. For no reason. But before I get to the Rishonim, first two pashta the yukim in the lashon of Taisvus. When Taisvus says, according to Hillel, you eat matzah. If we would pass like Hillel, what would we do? First you eat matzah, and then right after matzah would be matzah and mara, would be k'orech. You don't have to eat mara separately. And Taisvus explains that when you're going to eat k'orech, it's going to be fine. Why is it going to be fine? Zok Taisvus. Kivin shetzarich lasis midrabanon mitzvahs kriche kehillel have the rabbanon with the rabbanon. The matzah and the mara that you eat together is the rabbanon with the rabbanon. So I have two diyukim here in the lashon of Taisus. First of all, what's this lashon mitzvahs kriche? Why does Taisus use this lashon mitzvahs kriche? That's what the mitzvah is. It's mitzvahs kriche. It's not mitzvahs kriche. It's mitzvahs mara. I think Taisus is the only one that I found that's in the Rishonim that says befeirish this lashon mitzvahs kriche. What does this mean? What is this mitzvahs kricha? The other question is, why does Taisus say, have the rabbanon v'rabbanon? What's this, the rabbanon v'rabbanon? The simple pshat of Taisus is, the mara is midrabbanon, and the matzah is midrabbanon. So they're not going to be mevatel each other. If the mara would be midrabbanon and the matzah would be midairaisa, the mara would be mevatel the matzah. If mara is midrabbanon and the matzah would be rishos, the matzah would be mevatel the mara. But because they're both Rabbanon with Rabbanon, so therefore they're not mevatel each other. But the shaila is, why didn't Taisus say a stronger lashon? Hayis, the whole matzah is a prat in the mara, it's a prat in the mitzvah of the mara. So it's not just the Rabbanon with Rabbanon. It's one mitzvah. This is how you do the mitzvah. Why didn't Taisus say a stronger lashon? According to Hillel, when you do k'orech, why isn't it mevatel each other? Because that's the mitzvah. The mitzvah is k'orech. That's why, not because it's the Rabbanon with the Rabbanon. The Rabbanon with the Rabbanon is mashma that be'etzem it's two separate mitzvahs, and they should have been mevatel each other. Elamai, because it's the Rabbanon with the Rabbanon, so therefore it's not going to be mevatel each other. Why wouldn't Taisus say a stronger lashon? Azay is the mitzvah. The mitzvah is to eat it together, so chatchil it's not shaykh for them to be mevatel each other. Those are the two questions. Based on what I said before, you should be able to answer these two questions yourself. But before I answer it, let me go to the lashon of the Rishonim here. So when I get to the first half of Taisus, where Taisus explains why, according to the Rabbanon, you can't do k'orech right after matzah, because if you're going to do k'orech right after matzah, so you already ate matzah once. So the second time matzah is a reshus. If it's a reshus, it's going to be mevatel the mara, which is midrabbanon. So you have to eat the matzah separately. That's what Taisva says, and that's what all the Rishonim say, and it's l'chayre very, very pashut. The strange thing is, the Ramban himself says this as well in the Mechamis. The Ramban himself says the exact same thing, but then after that, for some reason, the Ramban adds a va'oid. I don't know if anyone saw this Ramban. The Ramban adds a va'oid. A second reason why, according to the Rabbanon, you can't do k'orech right after matzah. Shahayit tzarech levarech ala marer. Because when you do k'orech right after matzah, which bracha you're making? You're making a bracha on the marer. V'loy ala matzah shima. You're not making a bracha on the matzah. The kivin shemitzvah and lachatchila fila b'loy kriche. Since Rabbanon hold that you could do the mitzvah without k'orech, loy nire lechachamim lasais matzah tfeila lemarer. The chachamim don't want to make, according to the Rabbanon, that the matzah should be toffel to the marer. Why? Shema yinagu came bizman abayis b'mheire yibane. Because you might end up doing the same thing in the time of the Beis HaMikdash. And if you do the same thing, Bizman Shabbos HaMikdash Kayim, it's going to be a problem. If Bizman Shabbos HaMikdash Kayim, you eat matzah first, and then afterwards you're going to eat matzah and marer together, Bizman Shabbos HaMikdash Kayim, marer is minat Torah. Marer is minat Torah. So the matzah is for sure going to be mevatel the marer. So even if Bizman Hazeh, you're going to say that the matzah and the marer together are both midrabanon, but Bizman Shabbos HaMikdash Kayim, marer is minat Torah. So there's a problem, even according to the Rabbanon, to put matzah and marer together, minat Torah. So therefore, Ella, rather, Zeichel Migdash Kishavin of Dinan Kivin the Efsharu. We make an equal Zeicher, according to the Rabbanon, you eat matzah and marer separately, then you eat k'orech together, and that's the Kivin the Efsharu, because we can, we have enough matzah and marer to do it, so Chacham will masakin to do this. So there's this 4 lines of the Ramban here is a Pella Otzum. What does the Ramban want? The fact that according to the Rabbanon, you don't do k'orech right after matzah is a Davar HaPashut. Because now the matzah is a rishos and it's ma'avatel, the matzah which is with Rabbanon. What does the Ramban want with all of this? The Rabbanon don't want to do this because then it's going to lechatchila. It's a very shver Ramban. Leinire lechachamim laseis matzah tfeila lemar. What does he want with this whole thing? Laseis matzah. Okay, I looked around and around and around and I could not find a shot in this Ramban. That's one problem. The other problem is, Moshe has a shot. It looks like. Okay. Another problem is when it comes to Hillel. According to Hillel, you could do k'orech right after matzah, no problem. K'orech right afterwards, matzah and marer together, and the sibbe is pashut, like Taisva says, because according to Hillel, the mitzvah is matzah and marer together, so they're not mevatel each other. It's the Rabbanon with the Rabbanon. Taisva says. You look in Rabbeinu David. There's such a big arichas on this. There's like 10 lines to explain this. What Taisva explains in half a line, Rabbeinu David explains in 10 lines. It's a pella otzum. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing now inside, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. A whole arichas to explain that according to Hillel, then the matzah is going to be the Rabbanon, the matzah is going to be the Rabbanon. You can read inside ganz arichas. What is this whole arichas here and what this Rabbeinu David is saying? And the main thing that stands out from what Rabbeinu David is saying is that according to Hillel, you have to eat matzah together with marer because you have to make a zeichel mikdash. Sai the Rabbeinu David is madgish this, and Sai the Ran is madgish this. That according to Hillel, you have to make a zeichel mikdash. Why are they madgish this? What's this chiddush over here that you have to make a zeichel mikdash? Taisa doesn't say anything about zeichel mikdash. Taisa just says, according to Hillel, the mitzvah is to eat it together. So if the mitzvah is to eat it together, it's the Rabbanon with the Rabbanon. End the story. Taisa doesn't say anything about zeichel and mikdash. Rabbeinu David says that hilchas bekriche bizman shabbos mikdash kayam. Bizman shabbos mikdash kayam you would have to do kriche. So therefore mitzvah who says kriche zeichel and mikdash today as well, like it was done bizman shabbos mikdash kayam. Why is Rabbeinu David going through the whole history again? The whole arichas. I mean, that's the Gemara. Taisus is Makatz and says it the way it is. Rabbeinu David is Absahagan Tzarichas Aveh. What's the pshat in this? And l'chayre misvara, you would think again. Misvara, you would think ipchem istavra. Taisus holds that the whole k'orech is lechatchila. So if the whole k'orech is lechatchila, there's definitely a svara to say, according to Taisus, that there's no point in doing k'orech bisman hazeh, because you already ate matzah separately and marer separately. So there's no inyan of doing k'orech bisman hazeh. You could just eat matzah and marer separately. So according to Taisvis, there's a svara to say, I mentioned before, the Shevach Pesach says this, that Bezman Hazeh, the whole Keurig is just a Zeichel Mikdash Ba'alma. There's no, even Hillel would be made that today you don't have to do it. That's according to Taisvis. On the other hand, according to the Rishonim, Hillel holds Keurig is Ma'akiv. So therefore, even according to Hillel, Bezman Hazeh, there's no other way. If you want to do Matter, you have to do it Naif of Keurig. Keurig is Ma'akiv. So Dafke, Rabbeinu David and the Ran that hold that Keurig is Ma'akiv, emphasized the Nekuda of Zeichel Mikdash. Why? Why are they saying Zeichel Mikdash? Keurig is Ma'akiv, end the story. So you have to eat it Naif of Keurig. That's the Pella over here. Okay, so Al Pi Mashin is Bar La'el. There's one Nekuda that could fan for this. And here comes out a Meir de Gechiddish, and this is one of the Ikka Chidushim that you see in the Rebbe's Agada. I'll explain it eventually when we get to the Rebbe's Agada. I hope it'll be before Purim. It comes out a Gevaldige Nafkamina between Taisvis and the Ran in the gather of the mitzvah of Kairach. So let me go through it again, Bekitzer. Taisvis holds the gather of mitzvahs Kairach is, it's a prat mitzvahs matzah. Tair is telling you how to eat the matzah. Again, a prat mitzvahs mother. Tair is telling you how to eat the mother. You can eat the mother separately and be yaitza, but the Tair was meisif another kiyum, another prat, that it should be in an oifen of Kairach. It's all a prat and mother. According to Rishonim, it's not a prat and mara b'chlal. It's two mitzvahs chalukais, and Torah said combine them. If this is the chiluk between the Taisus and the Rishonim, comes out a huge nafkemina. According to Taisvis, the point is to eat matzah together with the mara. That matzah that you eat together with the mara, it makes no difference if it's a mitzvahs matzah or it's stam matzah. Doesn't make a difference if it's a matzah shal mitzvah or a matzah shal reshus. My nafkemina. The point is that you should have a complementary dish or a complementary thing together with the mother, the matzah. The matzah should be there together with the mother. It has to be mitzvah's matzah together with the mother. What's epis? Matzah I did already. Now the mitzvah's mother. We're focusing now on mother. Who tells me that together with mother should be also matzah? And according to the Rishonim, since the whole vart of Kairach is to take two separate mitzvahs and be mitzvah of them together, so then what's the whole, the etzem din of Kairach is two mitzvahs that you would be mekayim b'fnei atzmai to be mitzvah of them together. So how do you do Kairach? Mitzvahs matter together with mitzvahs matter. There's no other way. That is what the etzem inyan of Kairach is. If so, comes on Meire de Gekasha according to the Ramban. Bisman Nazeh, when you already ate matzah first, you muchrich to eat matzah first, even according to Hillel. So you were yaitz and mitzvahs matzah already. So when you're going to do kairach according to Hillel, you can't anymore do kairach. Because when you're going to eat the matzah a second time, the matzah the second time is not a matzah shal mitzvah. You were yaitz and matzah already. According to Taisvis, that holds that you just have to take matzah and be mitzvah of it to mother. You don't have to be mitzvah of mitzvahs together. So then after you ate matzah as a mitzvah, now you eat matzah again as a prat to be mitzvah of it to mitzvah's mother. But according to the Rishonim, according to the Ramban and the Rishonim, that's two mitzvahs that you have to be ma'achet. How could you do that? That's the big kasha here. So what are you going to have to say? Was wird man davon sagen? Ha gufa chachamim war machadish. Chachamim created a second chiyuv of matzah. When Chachamim said that, according to Hillel, we're going to bizman hazeh make a zeichel and mikdash, and we're going to eat matzah together with mother after you ate matzah the first time, Chachamim, by saying that, included in saying that, they will mechadish a second chiyuv of matzah. There's the first chiyuv of matzah that you ate to be yaitz mitzvahs matzah minat Torah, and now Chachamim created a new chiyuv matzah to enable, to be mekayim, the mitzvah of mother, which has to be bekriche with mitzvahs matzah. So they had to create a new mitzvahs matzah midirabanan. There's a mitzvahs matzah minat Torah, and there's a mitzvahs matzah midirabanan. Now that it's a mitzvah, so you can be mekayim kairach. So now you can be mekayim the mother and the oifen of kairach. Not done yet, wait. You hear what I'm saying? Anyone following me? Huh? Yes or no? Huh?
They don't hold it just the Zecher?
No. No. I'll get back to the Zecher. Okay, so Al Pized comes out that the pshat over here is as follows. When Taisvis says, Tzorech lases mit Rabbanon mitzvahs kriche kehillel. What does Taisvis mean by mitzvahs kriche? What's this concept of mitzvahs kricha? Tosfos is saying this behemshech l'shitasa before. Tosfos holds there's mitzvahs marer b'fnei atzmai, and lechatchila yoyetz, b'diavad yoyetz and mitzvahs marer b'fnei atzmai, and then there's mitzvahs kricha. Mitzvahs kricha is the additional prat that Torah was meisef in mitzvahs marer. It's another prat of mitzvahs kricha, but that's not mitzvahs marer b'fnei atzmai. Mitzvahs marer b'fnei atzmai yoyetz even without kricha. That's why Tosfos calls it mitzvahs kricha. But at the same time, Tosfos does say have the rabbanon v'derabbanon. Tosfos does not want to say that it's one big mitzvah because it's not one big mitzvah. Tosfos does not hold it's one big mitzvah. There's marer, and then there's the haisafa of mitzvahs kricha, which is a prat in it. It's not one big mitzvah. There's marer, and then there's the matzah that enhances the marer. That's a pshat in Tosfos. According to the Rishonim, it goes much deeper than that. According to the Rishonim, mitzvahs k'orech, according to Hillel, Chachamim created a new mitzvahs matzah. There's two mitzvahs of matzah. There's a mitzvah of matzah min ha-Torah and a mitzvah of matzah min ha-Rabbanon. And that's exactly what the arichis is in the lashon of Rabbeinu David. What Rabbeinu David is saying is, just like bizman shebeis hamikdash kayim, there's k'orech. What's k'orech then? That you mitzaref two mitzvahs. So too bizman hazeh, what is k'orech? That you mitzaref two mitzvahs. Bizman beis hamikdash, you didn't eat matzah yet. So you can be mitzvah of two mitzvahs. Bizman hazeh, you already ate matzah, so how can you be mitzvah of two mitzvahs? Matzah is done. The answer is, Chachamim created a zeicher bizman hazeh, a new mitzvah of matzah, in order to be able to do k'orech like zman shebeis hamikdash kayim. That's the arichas over here in Rabbeinu David. And al pizeh, the reason why Rabbeinu David is madgish zeicher l'mikdash kehillel, and why the Gemara is madgish zeicher l'mikdash kehillel is taka for this prat. Because the Zeichel Mikdash Kehillel is, there's a mitzvah matzah min ha-Torah, and there's a mitzvah matzah that Chachamim created only in order to be Mekayim, the Zeichel Mikdash. Be'etzem, bizman hazeh, according to Hillel, you can't do k'orech anymore. You cannot do k'orech. Chachamim had to create a new chiyuv matzah, Zeichel Mikdash, in order to be able to be Mekayim, this thing. So the Zeichel Mikdash Kehillel is not going on the etzem k'orech. K'orech is mitzvahs marer midrabbanon. K'orech is ma'akiv and mitzvahs marer midrabbanon according to Hillel. The Gemara is not using the term zeichel and mikdash kehillel for marer. The Gemara never says zeichel and mikdash when it brings up marer separately, and there's no reason for the Gemara to bring up zeichel and mikdash kehillel for k'orech. The Gemara is saying the lashon of zeichel and mikdash kehillel because there's another chiddush here. That Chachamim created a second mitzvah matzah, a naya mitzvah of matzah, in order to be able to be mekayim k'orech, because the gather of k'orech is to be mitzvah of two mitzvahs.
Maybe it's really hard to apply Chase's question of maybe Gal Yikra, maybe here Gal